Hey there everybody, today is Thursday, May 21st, 2020, and I want to talk about the proposed updated guidelines for the PPP forgiveness. And a little later in this episode, I want to also talk about my frustrations during this whole process, just in case you care. Maybe you don't, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. All right, so the House is planning on signing a proposal that's been introduced next week. And this proposal is making all kinds of major changes to the way that the PPP is forgiven and how the PPP funds are used. The first thing that they're going to address is the 8-week cover period. They want to extend that longer. And I agree with them. This loan they set up was originally meant for just 8 weeks of spending when this crisis is going to last much longer than that. And the flaw there too is that if it's for 8 weeks of spending, but most businesses are shut down, that means that they basically have to pay their employees for doing nothing. So this doesn't really help businesses much. So I'm glad they're addressing the 8-week cover period. The next thing they're going to address is eliminating the 25% limit on non-payroll expenses. So as you know, right now, if you qualify for the PPP, you have to use at least 75% of it for payroll expenses, and the rest can go to like rent and utilities and stuff. Well, they're talking about eliminating that altogether, so you can have more flexibility for what you can spend your money on. So that's also a great thing because people on unemployment are staying on unemployment because they're making a lot of money that way because of the enhanced unemployment program. And you can say all you want to them, hey, if you don't take my offer for your job back, then you're not going to qualify for unemployment. But people are going to freaking lie. So they're going to still collect unemployment. They're not going to take the offer. So I'm glad they're doing this, or at least talking about this. The third thing they're going to address is eliminating the 2-year term for paying back the loan. Many people think that the crisis is going to last at least 2 years, the financial crisis from this pandemic. So eliminating the 2-year term will give more flexibility to banks to allow people to pay it back over a longer term. Because 2 years is pretty quick, even at 1%. And you're talking about a business that's struggling to get the revenue back up and going, and to also pay back the loan in 2 years if they don't qualify for forgiveness. I think that's another great thing that they're touching on. The fourth thing that they're covering is payroll tax deferments. Now, if you applied for the PPP and qualified for it, you're missing out on tax credits and tax deferments. And that's just the way that the CARES Act was written. So now they're proposing to change that to allow businesses to take advantage of payroll tax deferment and qualify for the PPP. They're now seeing that is not double dipping, which is great. And I agree, I think businesses need as much help as they can get right now. So payroll tax deferment, even if you qualify for the PPP, you're still good. So the fifth thing they're going to address is extending the rehiring deadline for companies to rehire their employees to qualify for forgiveness. And this is good because, as they're now seeing, since they implemented the enhanced unemployment program, they're seeing that employees or individuals are not wanting to return to work because they're making a shit ton of money on unemployment. And this unemployment program is lasting until July, and companies have until June 30th currently to rehire all the employees that they laid off or furloughed. The Congress is now seeing that's a problem, so they want to address this by extending the rehiring deadline for forgiveness. And I also think that's a positive step in the right direction. Now, I have just had so much frustration this past week about all this crap. First, in my last video, I talked about how they reduced the SBA has reduced the loan limit from $2 million to $150,000 on the EIDL, and there was just rumors about that beforehand, but having my own clients experience that, it's very frustrating. They're just so unprepared for that, and they were unprepared for this too. Like I understand, like I give them kudos for getting the money out so quickly to businesses that really need it, but the demand was so high, and they released these broad guidelines that had a lot of nuanced holes in it that just left people feeling confused or unsure. That uncertainty is stressful. And so me as a CPA trying to gather all the information that's out there from the SBA, from news sources, and filtering out all the bullshit to then direct to my clients, it's a lot of work. And my clients, they're on their end, they're hearing all this other nonsense too, like from the media. So they're getting confused. Banks are confused as well. They're giving conflicting information. So this whole thing has been a mess because the money was rushed out. And, the original purpose of the loan was to just support businesses for 8 weeks. And, if the lawmakers just took a second to think a little more critically, they knew at the time that most businesses will be shutting down or shut down. So a good portion of those 8 weeks would be for businesses that are shut down and can't really hire employees to do anything. So essentially they would have to be paying their employees to do nothing. And in the meantime, their employees don't want to take the money because they have this awesome unemployment benefits that they just implemented. So now these businesses are in such a bind, and I don't know, I'm just frustrated because if they just took a little bit of time to think about it, they could have done a much better job with the rules and the guidelines. And now that we've spent so much time, everybody in the CPA community, everybody like doing research over the SBA and the PPP loans and stuff, we've come to kind of master these guidelines, and now they're trying to switch it up on us, which is, I'm supportive of the switch. I'm just frustrated. Thanks for listening to my rants. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if you guys need any help, and be sure to like this video. I'm not going to ask you to smash that like button. You can do whatever the hell you want to the like button. And if you do enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel. I am posting videos pretty frequently. I wouldn't say every day, but close to every day now. So subscribe to my channel, smash that like button, and I'll see you next time. Take care and stay safe.